Hello, welcome to Being Reintegrated. This is Tim Wright. So what I'm doing is I'm giving a commentary on the seventh degree of the Scottish Rite. Now I know this may seem like, whoa, what's going on? I wanted to let you know, since I have been doing these videos, I've been branching out into more and more topics. So what we're doing now is we're talking about the degree system of the Scottish Rite. In the new book, The Double-Headed Authority, which goes into the Scottish Rite, degree by degree, researching the new standard pike revised standard pike ritual. I'm giving a presentation in that book of the Scottish Rite as it exists in current ritual and old Albert Pike document of the Morals and Dogma. So, what I'm talking about is the seventh degree and the mystery of dual authority. And you know, it makes you ask a question. Essentially, the entire degree is about what does it mean to judge justly and to hold both mercy and law in the same heart. And I talk about this in the book, Dual Authority, which is nicknamed for the double-headed authority of the Scottish Rite book that I made, which you can get, you know, downwards. You can buy it from Amazon. It's a hardback book by Kim Publishing. So there's red hangings and 5 lights and a pentagon and a golden triangle above a balance. The initiate stands between divine law, which is above, and human justice, which is below. The lodge becomes a tribunal of conscience, and the initiate is no longer a mourner or penitent, but judge of himself. So this is where you kind of get into the subjectivity role of looking at your own self and analyzing your own behavior. One of the key quotes is, "Justice is not the whole of law, it is harmony among the passions and intellect." Very close to Socrates. So this is not just justice as mere fairness, it's architecture. And Pike calls it measured harmony between rigor and compassion. I talk about this in the book. We talk about moral geometry, divine wisdom, human justice, and the meeting point of heaven and earth being the heart. The Mason becomes a living diagram of justice, and this is geometry embodied in conscience. So we're looking at essentially the way that this is structured in the seventh degree. There's a spiritual and temporal, law and love, reason and compassion. These are the dual powers that are present in the seventh degree. Authority is not given, it is earned through equilibrium. And the judge holds both scales equally, and law becomes love articulated through reason. That's very important that it becomes love. Love doesn't become law, so there's no way to turn it into something that it's not supposed to be. The dual turns into the unified through reason. So it really does illustrate Zabud's temptation. Friendship pulls on one side, resentment on the other. The judge refuses both friendship and resentment, symbolizing the mastery of emotion by conscience. So there's an ebony box and an inner tribunal. There's an investiture of a golden key and ebony box. So the key opens the box of conscience, the soul's own record of moral acts, and the box is both ark and mirror. It stores our deeds and reflects who we are. This is the double-headed eagle. It looks both ways. It looks toward heaven, it looks toward earth, it looks toward friend, it looks toward self. It doesn't have one position as the prime position. So the ebony box does the same. It looks inward and outward, revealing the balance between divine and human law. So this shows us a justice as restoration, not retribution. Every act creates its own correction. So justice restores proportion. It does not punish people for being out of proportion. It doesn't punish people for being out of alignment. The judge's duty is not to condemn, but to rebuild the fallen temple of the world. So it's very priestly in that sense to be a judge in this moral of the story, so to speak, of the degree, that you're not really a judge. You're not looking at where someone broke the law. I mean, you're doing that, but you're only looking at where someone broke the law to better understand how to give them a law that works for them and they don't have to break it anymore. When both authorities unite, action becomes creative instead of reactive, and judgment becomes a form of healing. I mean, how often have we had judgment be a healing motif in the conversation? No, no, no. It's mercy, it's love, it's compassion, but it's never judgment. It's pretty profound how Pike and the ritual itself turn that around, that judgment's not a bad thing. You know, we all get caught up in the judge lest ye be judged, but what does that really mean? So, you know, in this situation, it's not saying don't judge lest ye be judged. It's saying when you judge, make sure you know that you're judging and do it, you know, intentionally. Don't do it out of some kind of idea that someone's right and someone's wrong and someone's good and someone's bad. And this is why the Mason has to learn to hold both mercy and truth, love and law, within one heart. It's basically the coincidentia oppositorum. It's the antinomies that create the energy that's needed, not the actual antinomies and polarization with another. So, when the heart judges itself, it no longer needs to judge others. It has found its rightful balance. And, you know, this is why it's so important to understand these concepts, because if we don't, we'll be stuck in a realm where judgment is not being used to better people. It's being used to impose superiority on those who are out of equilibrium. That's not what we're here to do as Masons. So I hope this 7th degree talk helps you a little bit. There was no original 7th degree talk in my educational series of lectures, so I wanted to replace it with this. Of course, there'll be more. Go pick up the book. It'll help guide you through some of this conversation that we're having. But until then, you know, the book has been very successful among Scottish Rite Masons. I just wanted to come out on being reintegrated and let you know it is available to the public. And this work is now going to be on the Omni shelf. So we have the ritual, the revised standard Pike ritual for my subscribers. You have a copy of the pages because, you know, you're a subscriber. So you should have a copy of the pages. And you're also going to be able to hear some educational content when you go to the ritual section and hear how a current educator would present to you in Scottish Rite education. So hopefully that rounds around the situation. If you're looking at morals and dogma and you're feeling like you just didn't get from it what you wanted, you know, that's been noted. And so hopefully this series will help you to reestablish your Masonic pride and carry out justice with your brother, your friends, and even your enemies. See you later.